Not like you're gonna be standing up.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome, shut the fuck up, to episode 7 of the Uplink. Today I got here with me, as per usual, my brother, Zach Mauricio.
That was a little rude for 8:45 a.m. there, buddy.
Yeah,
Hey, man.
that's kind of
You
messed
cranky?
up.
Just trying to do the intro and motherfucker
I am.
talking. Anyways, Avery Tanner's here, bright and early.
Yes,
He's
sir.
actually, he's in the future. It's 9:47 by him, 8:47.
9:46, but I'll allow it. Nope, 9:47.
And then we got joining us Hunter, Big Daddy Gesley.
Yes, sir.
Where
Him.
he's in the past, so it's like 7:47 by him. But
Yes,
Imagine
sir.
living in the
Airplane time.
I was going to say that.
exactly. But today we got going on. Major one happened last weekend. We're gonna recap that, go over some power rankings, and then ROSTERMANIA, baby. It's already happening. We got some roster changes happening already. We'll go over some of those that are confirmed and some that we believe should happen but may not. And yeah, what are we drinking, boys? What are we drinking?
We're drinking some Marchon instant lunch,
W mug.
and then on
W
the
mug.
inside it says "send nudes."
Oh, you know
Oh,
what?
right.
Okay. You know what?
And we got some kafifi in there. Don't want to spill it, but
Sure.
we got some kafifi in there.
I got some good old Cabin Coffee. Shout out, buy some motherfucking coffee. I got
Yeah,
some
that man's gonna send me some coffee.
chocolate Java Bunga here. It's pretty fire. I haven't had hot coffee much, even though it's been cold as hell. But iced coffee is just superior. So. Abe, what we got?
All
What?
right, yeah, I'll just go fuck myself.
What are you drinking, Aves?
I'm drinking a pink lemonade ghost water because odds are I'm gonna have to take the biggest shit known to man.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that for you,
We're
Abe.
gonna
I love
approach
that.
that toilet with the biggest shit unknown to mankind. I'm telling you.
I like that. Zach, what do you got?
I also have coffee in my fancy little Yeti mug.
Ooh.
Damn, that shit's like $100.
No, it's
Nah,
not.
bro.
I have
it's like
one.
it's probably like 40, 30.
I have the tumbler one that's like this size.
The what? The Stanley
No,
Cup?
the
Or
the
Yeti?
$100 one you're thinking of, Nick, is the Ember that like warms itself. It
Mm.
keeps your coffee warm for hours.
Yeah,
Can we
keep
just say
it.
hot take? Those are the greatest things ever, and I want one so bad, but they are so expensive.
Wait, but
I
those
mean-
those tumblers, like the Yetis and everything, the insulated whatever cups, all those
Yeah.
keep your coffee hot for like 4 hours anyways. Why the fuck, if you're not drinking it within 4 hours, why you gotta heat it up again?
I think
Bro,
it's okay. Listen to this right here, right? It's not about keeping it how warm for how long. It's keeping it a consistent temperature for the amount of time it takes you to drink the coffee.
I
Because
mean,
like to me,
to me, it actually doesn't matter because this will be gone by the end of the podcast. So
yeah, but for me, like it takes me to drink this whole cup of coffee. It'll usually be slightly cold by the time I'm done.
No way you're taking
get one of
34 hours
these,
to
bro.
drink.
Get one of these.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I have like I said, I have like the travel mug, like the bigger one. I use that for work. I bring my coffee in it to work, and then I pour it in a cup at work.
All right,
Okay.
enough coffee talk.
I got my homie
Yeah.
Chip and Dale with me, bro. Little Chip and Dale.
Oh
mug.
hell yeah! I thought that was like a fancy mug, but
Fuck no.
it is. It's a fancy Disney mug. Love that.
Yo, what's
Yeah,
that blue
alright.
chair? Who shares that?
That's my sister's old chair. It's a piece of shit.
Ah.
It might be in better
That's
condition
Louis'
than
chair,
mine.
bruh.
Yeah, Louis fucked it up.
Louis standing on
Perfect chair.
business.
But yeah, let's get right into the freaking major, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, let's fucking knock this out, dude.
Wrong scene. There we go. All right. Thursday started off with some hot 3-0s. Really, all matches were 3-0s.
Islam.
All three O's, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
FaZe ended up 3-0, and Gorillas wasn't really close whatsoever. Optic came out
No.
against Heretics with some revenge. 3-0'd them. Wasn't really close either. Toronto absolutely slammed Surge, and the first upset of the major was Minnesota 3-0ing the former world champions New
that
York
was fucking-
Subliners.
That was nuts.
Who would have
That was
thunk,
crazy.
right?
I mean, really the only one to talk about here is the Minnesota series because everyone predicted the winners of the other ones. We thought Miami or Optic would have been a little closer, but ended up being just a smoke show from Optic, which is exactly what they needed at this tournament.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Aves.
I called that
You did say 3-0 Optic.
3-2.
Yeah, we had 3-2 on the bracket here, but Minnesota in the New York
Oh, sh-
series does have, you can say asterisks, but a lot of teams are dealing with the reset cheese. But props to
Oh,
Rocker
yeah.
though,
Oh, yeah.
because they went up 100 points in the hard point, or like 70 points from winning. Wakening crashed, and you know that the saying is you never win the reset. They fucking won the
Yeah.
reset.
They won.
I'll tell you this right now. I think honestly, without the resets, Rocker still wins. Like
I agree. I
all
think the only
day.
map they
Yes.
don't win there is the control, because New York should have won 2 rounds.
Maybe
before
yeah, maybe not a
resets.
3-0, but they still win that series.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree. I mean, they just Rocker the whole entire way just looked like the better team, and like New York. I mean, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just a bad weekend, or maybe we call them friggin' onliners. It's too soon, obviously, but they were definitely very flat. The whole
Well, the
entire
thing
weekend.
is,
Not just.
go ahead. Sorry, finish.
I'm saying they just looked flat the whole entire weekend. It wasn't just like a one-off thing. They just.
I mean, yeah, they
once
ended up getting top 4.
I feel like they.
No, I
you
was
could
talking
almost.
about subliners. They just
Oh.
look flat.
Oh,
I think you could chalk the subliners almost up to like at first I was like, okay, yeah, it's rough, like, you know, it's the first match on, right? Like they just flew in, it's day 1. Maybe the Rockers are a lot better than we thought, which was
They're
true.
not.
They are. Yeah, but you know, there was no reason for them to get fucking 3-0 beat bop like that. And so I was watching what was it? Fucking Kenny last night, and Kenny was like going through the matches and everything. And he was like, dude, that's like when you're a top 4 team like that, because arguably going into this major, they were a top 4 team. You cannot get beat bop like that by a quote unquote bad team. Like, that's just not acceptable.
Once they started losing, I mean, it could be just a one-off tournament, but once they were starting to
hope
look
it is.
bad in Surge, it was like starting to become a
Well,
concern. I mean,
the whole first, like, even the online matches, dude, like, you could just tell they weren't playing that great. Like, they weren't 3-0 teams. They were pretty much every
They were
game
like the
they
Philadelphia
played,
Eagles of Call of Duty.
Every game they played, like, they're still, like, giving up maps to teams that you would think they would just 3-0 or 3-1, and they're going, like, game 5. Like, their search literally bailed them out all Major 1 until this tournament where they didn't win either of them. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was looking really sussy when they started like looking bad in Surge, because that's their best mode next to Hardpoint.
Yeah, against
Yeah.
But when that's gonna be a lot of teams are gonna get bailed out by their Surge or die by their Surge. We've seen it with like Seattle, we've seen it with Ravens, we've seen it with Boston. A bunch of teams who cannot win 3-0, 3-1s, and they're getting costed by the Surge. And hopefully New York doesn't fall victim to that. But their Surge is not good this weekend.
But yeah, I think the more interesting match is the next match, and I think we should move on.
Just a short note. Obviously, subliners did not look great. Probably will bounce back. Probably.
Dude,
I don't get much worse
I
than
don't
that.
see them.
They will.
I
bounce back.
don't see them spiraling. Is what I mean. And then on the other side, obviously, we're gonna see more of the Rocker, but Vivid's still performing. Love that. Love that guy.
You're worried about
And how about accuracy, having himself a
accuracy.
series?
Yeah,
Fucking
for sure,
Lamar,
him
bro.
too.
Lamar had
Him
a
too.
fucking weekend, dude.
Yeah, he was playing really well.
He had a very good weekend.
And moving on to Friday,
Alright.
we had the losers round 1. Then we had, let's go through the series real quick. You had top of the bracket, Gorillas and LA Thieves, where LAG still owns LA Thieves, and they are the owners of Los Angeles, because they are now 7-1 against them all time.
All right.
Zach predicted this: Miami Heretics getting a top 12 with Vegas 3-0ing them. And then, unfortunately, the host team, Boston Breach, getting knocked out top 12 against Seattle Surge, winning 3-2. And then another upset knocking New York, the former world champs, Carolina Royal Ravens, Clayster, Tej, feeling like Tej, baby, knocking out New York Subliners 3-1.
Shout out for Doug
So
predicting that one too.
I mean, we all had LAG winning. I think another surprise was the Miami series, and we go to the stats for that real quick.
Yeah, we hit a milestone in that match.
So, as you can see here, Purge
We
had
hit 'em.
24 kills with a .4,
Yes, sir.
and they won.
Hey, if anyone still thinks kills matter to win, this debunks that myth.
You're right, but that motherfucker needs to go. He's terrible. He needs to get out of here.
I mean,
Dude, kills don't matter. I'll tell you that right now.
kills don't, but at the same time, I think Vegas could get someone for Purge, and if they drop 34,
They get 10
you know
more
what I'm
kills.
saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or not even. Maybe he drops 26, but the damage is up 3K.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Because-
kills. Go ahead.
Because, like, I mean, you look at Journey down there, not great as well, but same amount of damage.
So that's what I
You know
was
what I'm
saying.
saying?
Like, Journey at a .5, you could argue Miami has the best teamwork in the league, right?
Yeah.
And they lost. So, like,
Yeah.
that's your argument against kills do matter a little bit. Especially, Purge is a flex, right? And Journey is one of the sub players. Especially in this game, Journey was probably just in the fucking blender, dude. Like, he probably just couldn't do anything with the sub. And then when he switched to the AR, his time, like, he was in the blender all event, and that's, spoiler alert, he got dropped.
I feel
Yeah.
like
But Metals ran a sub the whole time. I'm pretty sure, right? And he.
Yeah, he had a 1.04, but I'm
What-
saying, like, Journey as a second sub, like, he was probably just in the freaking blender.
Yeah,
the
I
whole
mean-
event. Like,
It was-
Purge is
I
a
mean,
flex.
yeah,
you-
you look at the other side, Nero and Standy performing. Like, that probably
Attach.
is yeah, and attach, of course.
Well,
But I'm
Attach
saying,
has
like,
been
I'm saying,
frying.
like, sub for sub, you know, Journey was probably getting slammed by Nero and Standy.
I think like kills don't matter as much as people make them out to be, but there's something to be said about being too low
Yeah.
Yeah.
when it comes to this. Like if you're dropping .8s, like okay, like whatever. But
I completely agree.
0.46, Like,
Everyone's
there
complaining
is
about
a
Godorex with
threshold.
a .7, dude. And we look at this, we got a .4 and a .5. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think kills
But the
don't
di- but the
matter, but
difference
kills at the
is-
right time matter.
Yes.
But the difference is like, yeah, we're talking about Gutter X dropping like having a really low KD throughout like the major, but they still weren't winning. At least in Paris. Holy shit.
Vegas should have 3 more wins,
Ve-
bro.
Vegas, like they were able to win with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think going to the what was it, the Rucker breach? Not Rucker breach, Ravens breach, right? Correct?
Ravens played New York.
They played New York.
Oh, Ravens, and then they knocked you out. New
Yeah,
York,
let's
right?
go to
So
that
before
real
we
quick.
go to that,
Yeah,
I just want to
okay.
say Vegas won their second fucking control. Congratulations.
Whoa.
Sure.
Wait.
Yeah, so Vegas sub no, sorry, not Vegas sub. You're gonna be confused. We got subliners Ravens here, and this was more surprising than the first
Doug-
match for
Doug called it.
for subs, because honestly, right, you could chalk the first one up to like, you know, cheese with everything going on. They couldn't lock in mentally. It was the first day, whatever. But come on, dude, you guys are the world freaking champions, right? Like, you guys should have some mental resiliency, right? And then on the flip side, you have the Royal Ravens here, who is a completely different team. And I think we can all stand by. And I think we could agree, if they had this roster going into the qualifiers, they would not go out the way they did. They would not qualify the way they did. And I think them qualifying in losers, they could have probably qualified maybe lower winners bracket if they really tried. That would have helped them out a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just an interesting series overall.
Just on the surface, I don't know. I don't remember if I was super watching this series.
This is
I
the first
was.
match
Just on the
Just lit.
just on
Friday.
the surface, like wasn't close.
No, New York got slammed.
No.
Other than the control, which is
Like,
weird because Carolina's
New York is
S&D has been terrible. Yet they took a fucking search against New York. That's how you know something's fucked up. Like,
That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
they-
Like it's
they
super
got-
concerning when they're losing searches like that.
exactly.
They got Tej and Fellow on land, bro.
Bro, fellow.
Yeah, but the
is
search is still
bad, bro.
ass.
Yeah, the search is still terrible. Which they said, they had an interview, like, they literally said they couldn't get any practice. Like, even challengers
Yeah,
teams
no one
didn't want
wanted
to
it,
fucking
yeah.
practice. So, like, they just went in there with whatever they could do. But, I mean, Tej is one of the best search players of all time, though. Like, it's Tej, bro. Like, he's a search player. He's what people think
Yeah.
about him. So, like, they're going to get
See,
better.
See,
And their hard
going
point
back to
looks really good.
going back to Hunter's point about like them being the New York being the world champions, the world champions been missing their like most important player.
Yeah, they are missing a player for sure. But I
we
mean,
won't talk about that.
yeah,
I mean, Gwyn had a. I mean, look at the map 4, dude. We got a 1.6, 1.3, 1.2, 1.0. Like, on a terminal, you got 100, almost 100 point club. Lost by 120
Yep.
points on terminal. Like, New York, that
Um,
is the most fundamental map ever. Like, yeah, especially on the old patch. You hold the fucking burger side, like, security the whole map, you win. Like, New York should not be losing like that against a team like Carolina. No disrespect.
Yeah,
Did they
I mean,
have
100.
security spawns to start out?
I don't remember who had good side.
What is that? 120 or 128?
128.
128.
Good math,
Okay,
good math.
so let's say they hold 2 Burger Hills. That's their score.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Which is kind
all
of
right, we gotta move on here.
Yeah, so we'll move on. New York gets knocked out top 12. Saturday, we have
Whack.
the.
Let's see
let's
how they
start
bounce
off
back.
here. Surge versus.
Something's wrong. What is it though? That's the question. This was Saturday, right? So we got
Yeah.
Surge, Ravens,
Was
FaZe,
that the
FaZe,
first game?
Texas.
Yeah, so the first game
Um,
of Saturday was Surge versus Ravens, where someone get a piss test ready for this dude named Illy.
Dude,
Jesus.
that
Carol-
shit was
Surge
disgusting.
takes the match 3-2. Controversial interview afterwards, which we won't say much about, but motherfucker better get some help. Illy did fry though. Motherfucker got a 1.3 and is the sole
Dude,
reason that Surge wins
They
the game.
sole reason they win that hard point.
Yeah, which is
Holy
insane,
crap.
But yeah,
Dude, he fucking gets that 3-piece and just goes sicko mode.
yeah.
I was watching Kenny broke it down and he's like, I gotta give Illy his flowers here because literally the Ravens had the perfect setup. They had 3 people on new, 1 person out, spawned out, watching the cross, watching for spawners, and Illy just comes in here and literally mops the floor with all 3 of them. Single-handedly overtakes the point, or takes the point, and then proceeds to kill people off the spawn. Like, what? How do you let that happen as the Ravens?
Yeah, when
But-
the Ravens aren't on 800 mil, I don't know.
Yeah. At the same time, though, like, I think if the Ravens had more practice and they had the fact that they are this good with what they have, with the amount of practice and coercion that these teammates have right now, give them a full qualifying, like from this point to Major 2, completely different team, and I think they're gonna come in winners bracket. I'll tell you that right now. I'll put that on God, $100 on it.
Zach, were you able to watch this series at all?
I do believe I was watching this series.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Illy was fucking insane. He was slamming. Abuza on land, nothing super crazy from him, but it was nice to see. It was nice to see Hook performing. That guy seems like he's very good at this game.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Running a sub too.
yeah,
He runs a sub a lot. I don't see him much.
Yeah, Hook was performing, man. Dude. Whenever they went to his POV, I mean, it's just like whenever they go to like Shotzi or whatever, he's hitting jumps, doing like fucking flying at people and shit. So, but pretty close. Yeah, not really, I guess. Kind of close series.
But the searches, which I mean,
yeah,
when you don't have practice and you're going against a top 4 search and destroy team in the game with Surge, like, you're not gonna win. Like,
it's cool to see. It's cool to see on the Ravens side as well. Again, Fellow and Tej holding their own.
I mean, Fellow, I think this map 4 had 30, 32.
Yeah, Clay is just a shooter,
Clay,
bro.
dude.
Like Clay is a shooter, bro. Like he's like a known quantity for the most part.
There's no way the Ravens aren't the oldest team, right? Like, there's no way they aren't.
I mean, Clay,
Average
Fellow.
age, yeah. I mean, Fellow's what? Almost. Fellow's gotta be like 25, right? If
And
not
Tej
older.
as well. I
Tej
mean,
is
not
Are you
like
saying
23.
Not that
Are you saying
Tej
25 is
but-
old?
For COD, for
COD, you got
esports,
18 and cracked kids, bro. Gwyn's only like 19.
I
bro?
wonder why I can't get to gold,
Bro,
dude.
Abizi is the oldest player on FaZe, and I think he's 23.
Yeah,
That's insane. How old Celium?
they're all like the same age.
21,
they all turned
22.
18 during Black Ops 4.
Yeah.
So
How
go
old
up.
is Celium?
All
All
right.
right, let's move on here. We had FaZe versus Optic round 1.
Yeah.
FaZe ends up taking the series 3-2. This is the First time Optic played sub base, which is nice to see.
And it looked really good.
Yeah, they looked nice.
It
on
don't
that
matter
shit.
anymore because new patch, but like
I mean,
it looked good.
sub base kind of plays out the same though.
Super side
Very
note.
similar.
I don't know.
Not even a
we
side
don't
note.
get to play sub base anymore.
Yeah.
Not even a side note. This is just a conversation piece. If I'm not mistaken, Optic absolutely fucking tossed the second map.
They were up 4-2. Yes, and they lost.
They
Oh.
absolutely
Yes.
tossed.
Can we just talk about this? Was arguably one of the best series.
Yeah, this was fun to watch.
This was so much fun to watch.
Bro, one Optic cannot keep playing phase on high rise
Yeah.
or invasion. We'll get
Yeah.
to it, but the next time they played them, they played invasion 3 times.
Bro, I mean, if they don't toss that map too, this is a 3-1 Optic.
Oh yeah.
So,
Optic's
okay.
definitely a
I'm
better
not
hard point
surprised-
team than phase
I'm-
right now.
Okay. So
I'm not
Let
surprised
Ace go. Let Ace go.
I'm not surprised FaZe came back and beat Optic on the search just because Optic likes to troll, and FaZe's search is just way better than Optic.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised they got warmed up and came back, considering how Optic is
Mhm.
naturally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And,
not
oh.
super surprised either. It's just in that fashion where you literally it wasn't 4-2 and then it ends up going round 11 and it's a heartbreaker. No, you got slammed for 4 rounds. Like 4 rounds in a row, you just lost.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Um,
once,
Go
Go ahead.
watching Kenny's video, he's talking about why they played sub base map 1, and I guess it was solely because they haven't played any team on sub base, right?
Yeah,
And he was talking about how every team wants to play Karachi. Like most teams want to play Karachi, and he's like, why would we play he said this is like specifically for like top 4 teams, top 5 teams, right? You never want to play them on their best map, right? They want to play Karachi, we want to play Karachi. Do not give them the advantage of letting them play a map they want. And he said that they were just back in the PPA, like during scrims and stuff. He's like, we were just absolutely 100-point clubbing everyone kid on sub base. And so they were like, even though they haven't played sub base this entire year so far, they were like, fuck it, dude, we're going to sub base.
That's a fair point.
And that is mainly because from what their intel said and their VODs and everything, FaZe does not like to play
FaZe
sub
got
base.
slammed by Carolina online.
Yeah,
on
they do
sub-base.
not like sub base.
FaZe is
and
just
so-
not that great of a hardpoint team right now. That's just how it
Optic
is.
had the
they
big brain
haven't
move
been.
here.
They haven't
Optic
been in
big
a
brain
while,
move.
bro.
I
They haven't
think-
been
Yeah.
super. They haven't been dominant in hardpoint in a while.
I just think they have the problem of good old Boston Breach, where they're just getting the kills and not doing what they need to be. And I'm sure Crowder's sitting there watching them losing his goddamn mind.
Yep. I got 2 points on this
Well,
series.
I'm
specifically.
sure, especially since that trio's been together for so long, I'm sure they're losing their mind. Like they probably think that, they just they don't even know how to play hardpoint, and they do.
Yeah.
There's some
They're
sort
just
of
confused
disconnect.
on like what are we doing wrong, basically. Probably.
Yeah, exactly. And again, obviously, I mean, you look at the second hardpoint, they can win hardpoints. Like they're playing a very good hardpoint team, and they made it close. So it's literally just these little things, and maybe draws is maybe he's the key. I don't know.
I'll tell you right now.
Very very fun match to watch. Unfortunate that second map got tossed because this could have been an Optic W.
Yes.
That is now.
Go ahead.
Kenny single-handedly won
Oh, that third piece.
that second hard point.
Yep.
He single-handedly won that round, which was insane. Probably arguably top 3 moments of the whole major, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fucking
that was
crazy.
insane.
And something else that I took away from this, FaZe is the absolute very best team on control high rise. They are just so fucking good at it. They just put you in the blender. They know how to spawn trap. They're doing exactly what the Breach doesn't. Is as soon as they get kills, they're instantly in the spawn trap.
No, you're thinking that backwards. That's New York. New York.
It's New York, bro.
New York was getting kills, but not getting on the clock. The time to stop.
Or sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
Where
Yeah,
FaZe
that's
will
what I
get
meant,
on
yeah.
both points and then still spawn trap you.
Yeah, exactly. FaZe is just built different on control.
Let's move on to the Abe's last thing.
I disagree with what Kenny said about if you both want to play the same map, ban it. Because obviously Optic felt really confident in playing sub base, so it was okay to ban Karachi.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But if you aren't feeling confident, don't just play the map because no one wants to play sub base and both you want to play Karachi.
Well, he explained his
don't
reasoning later in the video because he said that when they play him again, we'll get there. We just gotta go a little quicker here, but FaZe they auto ban Terminal, and Optic's okay with playing Terminal, so they were okay if FaZe ended up picking Terminal or sub base, and they didn't want to play him on Karachi because FaZe is comfortable on Karachi. So
I'm okay.
That's pretty much his reasoning. He's like, they know Optic knew that FaZe doesn't like Terminal, and they don't play sub base a lot either. So they're gonna ban Karachi, and Optic was okay with either or.
I feel like maybe middle to later in the season is when I feel like what Aves is almost kind of saying is kind of when you do fucking just try me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like just try me.
Exactly. Because I feel like if you both
we like playing this shit, you like playing this shit, we think we're good, you think you're good, try me. Like I feel like that is kind of a middle to kind of end of the season type shit, like where you've been playing these maps for a while, you kind of know your bread and butters.
Like I feel like if your map pools are the same, don't be afraid to float your best map. And if they ban it, to me, it's like you don't trust yourselves that you will out execute us.
Yeah.
Don't ban your strength if it's their strength just to play play your strength regardless if their strength or not. Don't play your weakness just because it's their weakness.
That's fair. Okay.
Because then you're preying on we just suck less. But if you're playing a team that doesn't have that deep map pool, you can ban your best map knowing that your map pool is just deeper, and they're just screwed. But if you got the same map pool, you both have you guys share your best map, fucking play them and just bet on yourselves that you're gonna out execute.
Yeah. At the same time, it is smart to look at the map pool and be like, we've been slamming people on sub base, and FaZe hates sub base, and they let it through.
Well, yeah, they felt super. Obviously they felt super confident that they could ban it. It would be different if they just we're not really gonna.
Yeah, if they weren't slamming on scrims the day before. Yeah.
Well, fuck it, we'll try it just because they don't like playing it. They obviously felt super confident, and they looked really good. So
right, let's fly through these losers rounds. We got Toronto 3-0 in Minnesota. Wasn't even close.
Nope.
Optic 3-1 Surge, only dropping the Terminal S&D, which is Surge's best search. So then they did Ego Chow fucking Surge on Terminal and absolutely slammed them. So and they played sub base again and slammed them. So 3-0'd them on the control. That control is clinical against. I think pretty sure Optic won 2 offenses in the 3-0. If I could be thinking wrong.
I think you're correct.
They fucking slammed them. So Optic wins that one 3-1 to stay alive in losers bracket. And then last match of Saturday, Optic makes top 4 off that. So right now we got Optic FaZe, Toronto in the top 4. Then somehow Minnesota or LAG was making top 4, which just blows my mind. And Aves I didn't watch much of this series, but Aves was messaging me. LAG is literally trolling every single S&D round. And Minnesota took the series 3-2, so they keep their top 4 round.
One of the rounds, they clear out plane. They get the kills in plane, and instead of just planting the bomb, they sit there, outside the terminal by P3, where P3 is now. Mm-hmm. They just sat there and didn't do anything until time was really low, and then they had to force themselves into the plane. And by the time Minnesota was already adjusted, but they just sat there instead of just planting the bomb. They overthought, they got too cute, and they lost it. They did that multiple times. Yeah. Where their mid-round adjustments were just really bad.
That's just something LAG's got to work on. I feel like Zuma was saying
it was so winnable.
It's their confidence is they're not used to being in these winning circumstances, situations where they're like, oh my god, what do we do? How do we close this out? In their brains, they're like, oh, we know what to do, but they're almost panicking because they're like, we've never been in this spot. What do we do? Because they're not used to being good.
I didn't think we'd get this far.
They're not used to being this good of a team. What's up, Norman? Sure. Little kitty.
I got a kitty.
Zach, anything on the Rocker LAG before we move on to Championship Sunday?
Almost a burger bowl. Thank you.
Sure.
That turned out to be a decent match too.
Yeah. The Sunday started off with Optic walking on the stage with the championship whites, and god damn, those look good.
Yeah, Championship White's not getting fined or not being told
Well,
they can't do that.
We don't know if they're getting fined or not. Hex just said no, but I'm like, just wait till the next
Well,
week.
I mean, who's processing that payment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they only got 12 motherfuckers left. Who's gonna?
Do they even have
who's
anyone in
sending that
accounting
email?
anymore?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Optic,
They're definitely fining them because it's a cash.
they need the
grab
money
now.
apparently now. Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
Christ.
Wait, Scrap is actually paying someone's salary.
Pred goes off this series with 1.37. Optic.
Yeah,
kinda
Pred,
just-
dude. Wait,
So we'll
Pred
talk
was
about that.
fucking final this fucking tournament.
Pred was looking real
Pred
good.
was final.
They started off 3-1ing Minnesota, 250-149, 6-2 Karachi. Loses the control and invasion. That's invasion cheese, whatever. But Minnesota, I think, did actually clutch up the round 5 on that on the offense to take it. So Optic did kind of troll, and then Optic takes Skid Row Hardpoint, 250-176 to stay alive in the top 3. Then we had FaZe Ultra, winners final here. I mean, Toronto just looks absolutely gross. They're 6-1ing FaZe and Search. Like, that's just scary. And this is the first match they lost all major. 3-2 invasion control, which I don't even remember how that played out, but probably.
I mean, bro, that was literally the only. That was the only close
But
match.
holy shit, selling him with 2.2 KD at 31 and 14. My God. Yeah,
He is
Toronto
him.
looks absolutely disgusting. So, FaZe drops down to play Optic yet again. This is where Optic end up playing Terminal because they.
I get a piss. I'll be back.
All right, it's kind of like the same thing with the
Alright.
sub base. They're like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure Optic probably banned Karachi, FaZe banned sub base, and then Optic picked Terminal. Kind of ego challenge them because they're like, oh well, FaZe auto bans Terminal, and FaZe kind of slammed him on it. But Kenny also said in his video, because I know Hunter's been referencing that video a lot. I watched it yesterday.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he does a really good job going in detail about everything. Basically, they just couldn't hold a setup yesterday, or that day against FaZe. Like they'd rotate, and they just weren't getting kills. Kenny and Shotzi had a tough series, both with .7s. But yeah, FaZe again. They play Invasion Search. I'm pretty sure they're 0-3 against them on Invasion Search. Don't know why it keeps getting through. And FaZe wins that one 6-3. Optic takes the control 3-1, which I believe that was another clinical masterpiece out of Optic, winning some offenses against FaZe. Then again, Invasion Hardpoint, which they've only beat them once due to a crazy Kenny 3-piece on. Like, I don't get why they keep playing the Invasion Search and Hardpoint against FaZe. I just don't. I don't know. Everything obviously the whole game's changing now, so we don't even know what maps people are gonna be good on. The whole game.
I assume there's something in the Optic camp that is telling them, yeah, let's play Invasion instead of like Karachi or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it's
like maybe they think Invasion so that you don't have like Simp and Abizi actually pulling out some rivals and just like zapping
like,
you
you
on
got Pred and
Karachi.
You
Shotzi,
have
bro.
Pred and Shotzi.
Yeah,
like,
I
You
know.
can square up with them.
I know.
And with how Pred's been playing,
Yeah. I don't know, but Optic ends up dropping at top 3. Minnesota with a top 4 placing, which shout out to them. That's really freaking
Good
good
event out
for
of them.
them. And grand final where Toronto loses their second map of the major.
Hold on, super side note. Even though, obviously, no one loves the formats of these tournaments, but it's always so funny at the end of the tournament, and then on the flank, and they go through and they're like, okay, so Minnesota got top 4, and Aches goes, all right, so who'd they beat?
Well, they beat New York.
And it's like, okay, yeah, cool, they beat New York, and then who they beat? LEG?
no, they got blessed by the bracket.
He always
but they still had to
breaks
beat
that
New York.
down.
Yes,
Yeah, I know. He always breaks that down of like, all right, so you won twice and you got top 4. That's cheese, bro.
He's
It's
not
like,
wrong.
dude,
but,
I
like,
mean,
it is what it is. Like,
yeah,
every event is going to be like that. A random team's probably going to get top 4 because the odds the top 4 is
and-
always going to be New York, Toronto, FaZe. Optic is just low. Like, that's just not how
I mean,
it works.
And at the end of the day,
regardless,
you
you
gotta play
can't.
who's in front of you too.
Yeah, and regardless, you can't deny that Rocker looked very good.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
won
it
3
looks very
straight
good.
online matches before the major too. It's not like they just were 1-7
Yeah.
and then ended up winning 2 series against Carolina and fucking
Shout out Ravens.
LEG. Like, they beat a good team, and they beat
But yeah,
who's in
on to
front
the
of them, and-
finals.
yeah, until finals we had Insight with a 1.4. That motherfucker. That's gonna be my MVP of the major. Insight. They gave it to Kleenex, I believe.
Yeah,
Deserved.
But I think Jamie Insight absolutely was frying all event. I mean, Toronto lost 2 maps, and it was both invasion controls against FaZe.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
fact
That's
they
insane.
went this whole tournament without dropping a hard point in a search, and I know their only main competition was like phase in terms of just like top teams in the top four. Doing that against anybody for a whole tournament, it's crazy.
I mean, Optic's the only team to ever do the what do they call it? The not winning a tournament without losing a map sack. What they call that back in the day when they had the dynasty?
Dude, I don't know.
They had a
There
name
was a
for
saying.
it. Yeah, they had a name for it. I forget what it was called. Was it the Dream? I don't know.
I don't
Optic
remember.
called it something. They've done it once, even with the dynasty roster back in the day, where it was even harder to do that. Go through all
Yeah,
the pool play
yeah.
and the brackets, and win it
It is
without
harder.
dropping a map. I think they called it the Dream. I don't know. But yeah, Optic's the only team to ever do that. Toronto was close here, obviously. Like Zach was saying, the format, it's cheese. They won, 4 series and won the event, which great for them. But they
I
also
mean,
had to
bro,
beat FaZe
they-
twice. So
Bro, they won 4 series and none of them were close.
yeah, they were slamming. I mean,
Nope.
beating FaZe.
Literally,
they've
literally
lost.
none of them were even like if you wanted to put money, that you would be dumb to not put it on Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
3-0, like
I hope they can keep that up.
money
Imagine if they
that the
could
other
keep that
team,
up.
literally money that the other team isn't even gonna win a map, bro. Like they look
mean,
scary, man.
They had one stinker series against Boston where they just didn't show up, and Boston beat them. Boston looked really good that series, and they're playing like we always say, Boston plays up.
They
But
did
they went
indeed.
18-5 in round count against FaZe and Search. Because the
Bro.
first time they played them, they 6-1'd them, and these 2 games they 6-2, 6-2. So like Toronto's just insane. Obviously, the game's changing a lot. We're gonna have a new map. One of Terminal Invasion's hopefully gone. I don't know
New
what
map
the
and new meta.
I don't know what the fuck the pros have against Greece, but that map is good. They just hate it. I don't know why.
They don't want to swim, man.
Bro, regardless
Swim on
about
sub
Greece,
base.
regardless about Greece, Rio is gonna be fun to watch.
Yes.
Dude, I'm so excited.
I
for
saw a
Rio.
Joe Deceives clip on Twitter, and that kid was piecing on it.
Oh, dude, the interactions. The one, FaZe Black was scrimming and against Carolina, and I'm pretty sure like 3 people on each team had 30s. Like it's just
I'm dropping
it's-
100 kills, Rio Surge,
But
book it.
let's move on here. We got the power rankings, baby.
Yeah, congrats Toronto, bro.
So let's go bottom to top. 12. We had LA Thieves. They won 1 series and were 1 in Infinity and Hardpoint. They couldn't win a freaking Hardpoint.
Well, yeah, and the difference between them and like the Legion or the Ravens or even Breach is they aren't winning. anything.
Vegas, though, is at 11, in our 11th spot. Vegas should have 3 more series victories, and if they did, obviously, they'd probably be in the top 8. But they've been reverse swept 3 times, and Purge dropped to 0.4. Drop that
Yeah, but they
motherfucker,
won.
and maybe we'll move you up. I don't care that they won, dude. You can't be dropping 0.4s. So Vegas at 11 there. They only have 2 wins total. Carolina ends up getting, excuse me. Carolina ends up getting top 8, right? Because they won 2 series. Or no, they won the
Yes.
top 12, lost the top 8. So yeah, they got top 8. They do look really good. A little search and destroy work, and they should be able to get winners bracket, I think, this major.
For sure.
Boston, they only won 2 series. They did look close against Surge, but they just couldn't win a search and destroy. And I mean, Slasher popped off, but it's hard to put them in the top 8. Miami
Well,
at
now-
8. Go
Oh,
ahead, sorry.
now they're gonna be moving up.
Yeah,
possibly.
this is before the roster moves. Obviously, this is like post major. So after probably the last show before when we do predictions, we'll do another power rankings list after roster changes and see if anyone has everybody moving. But Miami at 8, they get top 12 after going 5-2, which I couldn't argue putting them a little higher just because of the online split. But you guys show up on LAN and they just didn't. Well, Journey didn't, and that's why he got dropped.
I mean, they didn't win a map though.
Yeah, they also didn't win
No,
a freaking map.
No,
Surge, they also could be making a change. They're at 7. They look really good in the search and destroys, obviously. That's what they do, but their respawns are just hit or miss. Like, if Illy or Hook isn't popping off, or Booza. Like, Arcides has been okay. He hasn't been absolutely terrible, but he also hasn't been great. But he does a lot of the dirty work stuff, I feel like, and no one really understands that. Kind of like a Preston-type player, but, like, people are just used to Arcides being the Arcides from FaZe, like, still dropping, like, pieces. But that's just
or
not...
E United.
Or
Back and
United.
forth.
That's just not how the player he is anymore. But Seattle needs to work on some hard point, and they could probably move up here. But and then LAG at 6, they put themselves in so many winnable positions. They just don't close it out. But the fact that they get there warrants them getting this high in the power rankings. They get to the point of they're about to win. They just struggle in finishing, which sucks. Pause. But then New York, we had at 5. They got top 12.
I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this one. I mean, I know
No,
New York
neither.
didn't perform at the LAN, but
I know this list is based off recency bias, but we're digging too much into the recency bias.
Like, I think
I got a
as
reason.
simple as swapping Minnesota and New York, and I'm happy with that.
I think it's hard
Because
to keep New
Minnesota
York in the
being
top
at
4.
5 is an improvement over where they
Yes.
were
11.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So top 6 for Minnesota is exactly where
So
they are right now.
This is why I have New York at 5, because the whole online split. Yeah, they went 5-2 or 6-1.
Yeah.
What was it? They weren't comfortably winning. Their skill was kind of just overtaking them, and they also didn't have that.
I
tough of
said
a
they're the
schedule.
Philadelphia Eagles of the CDL, dude. I don't know how they keep winning, but they do, and it's not pretty.
Yeah, like the Optic series, they should have lost.
Sure.
Shotzi trolled. I don't remember a bunch of their other series, but they weren't comfortable. They just didn't seem comfortable at all. Like they should have lost against Boston. You could argue, if Cavs almost got 1v4'd them. Snoopy doesn't fall off the map. Who knows? But like they just weren't comfortable. Rocker came out the last 3 games of online and was smoking people. Like they were winning pretty convincingly. I don't remember who they were playing, but like still, like they went from 0-4 to top 6. Like after the online split.
I feel like the counter argument to that, though, I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like after this stinker that New York had, if you put Minnesota versus Optic, FaZe, and Toronto, Minnesota's probably getting slammed. But you put New York against those 3, and I think some of those are series, if not W's for New York.
I just think New York doesn't look as... Obviously, it's recency bias, but like Minnesota got top 4, New York
they
got
definitely
top 12.
don't look dominant in any way.
Yeah, Minnesota got slammed by Toronto, but everybody did. Like,
correct.
If you look,
they only
if you look at who
3-2
they
Gorillas,
played,
but
though,
they did clutch up, and the Optic series was kind of close. But I think seeing Wake play as good as he did this weekend with accuracy on hand, like, I think it's good for them. I don't know who their upcoming schedule is, but it would not surprise me if they fall down to bottom 5.
Major 2 qualifier, they play Optic first, then they play LAG. Wait, never mind. I'm at the bottom. They play Ravens first, then they play Surge, then Breach, FaZe, Heretics, LAG, Optic.
Speaking of Ravens, I think Breach and Ravens should be flipped. In my opinion, I think Ravens is a better team than Breach.
No.
At this current moment.
Bro, the middle of the pack is so hard.
Yeah,
Because
Breach and Ravens are the same to me. I mean, they play well in the response and they shit the bed in
Surge is
Surge.
terrible. Yeah, I mean, really the bottom 4 is the bottom 4. Like that's just how it is. It was
Now I'm
really
curious.
the 4
Breach
through
is better
7.
than Legion, and Breach is better than Thieves by a
4 through
mile.
7
I'm
is
curious
very hard to
how
argue, but...
I'm curious how the new Breach is going to go up against
let's
this
get
newish
into
Carolina. So that's
one more thing. The top 3 of the power rankings. I think if anyone else has the top 3 any other way, I think they're just blatantly wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of argue Optic over FaZe because of the hard points, but like
I don't
FaZe
think
beat
you.
them
I don't
twice,
think you
so
can.
you can't
I don't
really
think
put
you
Optic
can.
over 'em.
I don't think
Dude.
you can.
FaZe owns Optic right now. Oh God.
Looking like that. Let's move it to freaking ROSTERMANIA, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some confirmed changes already. LA Thieves is dropping Cammy and Joe. Deceives for Nasty and
Nasty.
Kremp. Which, shout out Nasty, because that motherfucker is disgusting.
Would you say he's nasty?
You would say he is nasty. And then Kremp has been frying.
NASTY.
But the only thing I really want to talk about here is we all figured Cammy was gone, and we weren't sure what sub was going to be gone. We figured it was a 2-man change. One change is not going to fix this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they went with Joe over Afro?
I think Afro's ceiling is higher. That's probably what I would say.
Okay.
And he's also been in, I think also he's kind of been in the league longer. Like he came in Cold War and he fried.
Yeah,
and
he's definitely
been
performed
He's a little
before.
bit more proven than Joe.
Well, it's that, and
And-
Afra also played with Nasty when London was looking
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
because of them two. That's the way I think.
That could
it.
also,
That's the way I
like-
see it.
I'm disappointed though because right before the season started, I said Joe's gonna make like some significant improvements, and like,
He's
show
good.
that-
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
He's a
he
good
is very
player,
good.
But
He is very good. I'm just disappointed that he didn't make it.
yeah, the
Farther.
team just didn't work. Hunter, anything on this?
I don't know who any of these motherfuckers are.
I'm excited to see. I'm
name.
excited to see. I'm excited to see Nasty playing again. And I mean, Kremp had a short spell on Breach, but
He looked good. He was one of the best control players in the
think-
league.
I don't know if this is like a crazy improvement. But I think that's a squad that can move forward and hopefully have some consistent.
I think they'll win more than
performances.
one hardpoint map.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
moving
this
on to
right now.
Boston.
Tell you right now, this new Breach team, kind of scary. They got rid of their fucking weak link or heaviest link.
I don't do.
And,
right.
Jesus Christ!
And
That's
they,
fucked up.
And
That's fucking insane.
anyways,
You can't
yeah,
be
I
doing
think,
that.
I think this team is going to be really good.
I wouldn't even say
Um,
Capsule's a weak link. I just think him and Snoopy's play styles are too similar, and
Yeah,
it just doesn't work. Like,
Yeah, I
Capsule
completely
can end up
agree.
on a different team. Let's say Seattle Surge with Hook potentially, and that team could be better. But,
Like you can't
yeah.
have two really fast subs playing with like more
both
slower
go
paced
rogue.
AR.
Bro, you just go back to that series. Like they both fucking died over 100 times,
Mhm.
bro. That's crazy.
While
I think that was
Flash
the
was
last
dropping a
qualifier.
1.4.
That was the last qualifier match.
Oh, that was
I
New
think
York.
they had
Yeah,
over
that was the New
100
York
times.
game, right? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
New York.
yeah.
I think Caps' biggest downfall was he would just panic sometimes in high stress situations, like Zach says. Like when he literally almost clutched up a what 1v3
It was
to
1v4. No, you can't even say
Yeah,
that's
one
on
before.
No, you can't
No.
say that because
No,
no
no,
one
no, no.
had
That's not
any
him
idea where that
tweaking.
kid was.
that's not
Right.
him tweaking thing, but he made the wrong play, right?
did.
Like
But I think if you
Yeah,
ask
when-
anyone in the
there's-
league,
there-
if you ask anyone in the league, everyone's doing that play because no one knows. They didn't know where Hydra was, and two, the odds he's not elevator like while his teammates on the fucking bomb is insane.
Hydra was playing a spot that would where Hydra was it Hydra? It was Hydra, right?
Yeah, it was Hydra.
Yeah, it was
He was
Hydra,
playing.
yeah.
He was playing in the one spot you probably don't expect him to play.
Like anyone in the league
Yeah.
would say that. Oh, what Capsule did there to like try to play his like shoulders, whatever. Anyone would have done that, not knowing where Hydra was. It was just
I
unfortunate.
agree.
And you're also calling out a fucking 1v4 as a bad play.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
no. I'm not saying it's a bad play. Like it was really freaking good. It just could have been. Like I think that's the difference between a world champion player and an average,
Yeah, I'm
like
telling you that
middle of the road COD player.
even
right?
if that was FaZe, I don't think they're expecting Hydra to be where he was.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you also gotta
I've-
remember who your enemy is. It's fucking Hydra. He does shit like that. Like I guarantee, if you watch VODs, you'd be like, Hydra's always in a weird ass cruddy spot like that. He's just so unpredictable.
not
I think
across
that's one
the
thing.
map.
So I
With only 15
initially
seconds left on
argued
the bomb.
I initially argued kind of what you were saying, Hunter, but
hmm
the problem with the play is that there was nothing wrong with it.
hmm
Hydra was just unpredictable in that moment. And literally, I've said this before, I think on the pod. If Cap goes anywhere,
But right
literally
there, yeah.
anywhere but where he went, there's a very good chance he clutches that out.
Oh, for sure.
But
It's just unfortunate.
let's
Or
say,
I feel
Hydra
like
misses one bullet or something. Like
I feel
literally.
like it gets highlighted too because of the severity of the situation.
Yes.
but-
Yeah, but
There's really no wrong
we haven't
play
even
when you're
s-
coming
we
at
haven't
like
even
a
said
1v4.
we haven't even
shout
said
out
Asim.
us
Asim.
Asim, baby, replacing
Yeah.
Capsule, baby. That's gonna be
Shout
a
out
great
Asim.
change.
Shout out Zuma for fucking FaZe Black, dude.
Yes, dude. And
I think Cap will make his way back into the league. I think he's still good enough. to
I
do
hope
it,
he
but-
does,
He's
bro.
definitely good
This
enough
has
to do it.
happened to him what 3 times now?
he got dropped off Florida, or no, not Florida. He got dropped off Boston. Then he got picked up as a sub on Thieves. They didn't really drop him. I think he was just on a 14-day. Then Florida picked him up, and then obviously Miami happened, so Florida dropped everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And so and then he gets picked up by Breach, and now he's off again. Like, I mean, Dude's a good player. He just needs to find a good system that he fits well into, and it seems like it wasn't really this one.
Yeah.
But Asim though,
Or
I
a
am so
system that will let him.
excited to see Asim playing again. I fucking love watching that guy play. He's good. He deserves to be in
Facts,
the
bro.
league,
That guy's nasty.
and he's fucking hilarious.
And
That
he's
guy's
one with
funny.
Slasher and Preston about always just making the right plays.
Yeah,
So that's gonna help
yeah,
out.
and I
3 people doing the right thing is gonna let Snoopy go
That's what I was
rogue.
about to say. That's what I was about to say. They can get the fundamentals, be the known quantities, and let Snoopy do literally whatever the hell he wants. Literally whatever the
And
hell
I
he wants.
and I also think like Asim being because that kid, like yeah, he's like another sub, but he's also been frying with the MTW and with maps how they are. Like he's gonna run the MTW probably way better than Capsule. And I also think like Asim being a primary sub last couple years, like mostly he's been a primary sub,
Mhm.
will help Snoopy because like hearing advice on how to play a sub
Mhm.
is a little bit better when you're talking to someone who's also been in your like same role compared to like someone who's been like a main AR or something. So I think that will help him, and so he gets a better sub duo, plus someone who could also be that third AR.
And Asim's gonna
And
help set up
proven that
Snoopy
he can
more
fry.
too.
Yes, yes.
So like Snoopy just get even out more elevated even more. So especially on Rio, we'll keep talking about Rio because that map's most likely coming in. You're gonna have 2 subs out, so you'll finally be able. Karachi, I think, is like the really only other map that you can run 2 subs majority of the time right now. But I just want to bring up the FaZe Clan Black. Shout out Zuma. Kremp and Asim gets picked up, so they got Joe Deceives and then Geo, which Geo's another AR that's
I don't know anything about him.
apparently pretty freaking good. They got second at the Challengers event, and
Geo for Purge?
he might be
question mark?
next up. See, I don't know if he's like
Geo
a
for
flex or a
Purge?
main, but again, it's just second AR. But let's go to the roster changes again.
Hey,
We
yo.
got
Oh.
Jeremiah. Oh shit.
Huh?
Cotton
Oh, shit.
5K.
Sure.
Well, all right.
It's
So
just my
first
home
off,
1880.
page. Anyways, who the fuck's getting dropped from Seattle? Because nobody, it's Abuza, and I saw a cryptic tweet of him that got deleted of him being like depressed. Ain't no way Abuza getting dropped, bro. It's
No,
Arceus
he's just
or
having.
Illy.
He's
Apparently,
just
it's
having
not
a rough day.
Apparently, it's not Alec. So
Chick-fil-A messed up his order and he's pissed. Okay,
I mean, I would be
he's
too.
having a rough day.
well, it's gonna be really hard for Illy to play while he's in a rehab facility. So,
Okay.
it's got to be. It's
Well,
probably gonna
that's
be
the
him.
only thing I can think. Like,
Yeah.
all respect to Illy, the guy was frying, bro, but I don't think you're dropping Hook. That guy
Yeah.
was playing really good. You're not
If
dropping
you
Abuza
inject
because
fucking 100
Abuza-
milligrams of fucking Adderall up my
We
ass, I'm
can't
probably
beat
gonna
you on
fry
this.
too.
But
We
like,
can't beat you.
Abuza's not going to drop. Because you drop Abuza, he's getting picked up by somebody else, and they're going to absolutely fry. Because they're going to do what they should be doing and having him play the fucking AR position. Because that's what he did all of Challengers. It was a top 3 AR in the game last year. Arcides, yeah, his numbers aren't great, but I feel like he does a lot more for the team than people think. And Illy's been frying. But that interview, everyone's been talking about it. I feel like he might be getting dropped because of what happened in the interview. Not because of his skill. But Zuma's been saying it's not who you guys think, and I just don't think it's the other 3. If it's not Alec. Everyone thinks it's Alec.
I feel like yeah, like Alec's been doing more than people see, but you can also upgrade him.
Yes, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying everyone thinks it's Alec. But Zuma, we know his sources have been dog shit at times. But like even Benjay and Nassim saying there might make a change, but it might not be who you think. So it's not Alec. And if they drop a Booza, Rainbow just needs to be fired because that's just dumb. And I don't think it's Hook. I just don't think it's Hook. So it's got to be in there.
Maybe they know Rio's coming in, and they want a better sub.
Well, no, they would need to move Abuza to the AR and pick up a sub with Hook. That's what they need to do. So either Arcedes or Illy has to.
Yeah,
go.
but I don't see Arcedes. Yeah, you can definitely upgrade them. I don't think.
You get Geo. You get this. There's another French guy.
I don't know.
Another French kid. I don't even remember his name. That's apparently cracked. That's really good right now. There's so many ARs and challenges you can pick up. I mean, I think if you put Capsule on this team with Arcedes and Abuza and Hook, they could be pretty damn good.
Move
But
Abuza
I don't know.
down.
I don't know who they're gonna go with. But
They
in my
might not
opinion,
do
it should be
anything.
Alec because Alec's stats aren't great. But then again, the Alec, Illy, Hook was the trio going into the season. So maybe they're just dropping Abuza. Like, I don't know, but I just think they'd be so stupid to do that.
And that's a good Surge trio too. Like like Surge's S&D is pretty solid. It's like way above average compared to like the rest of the league who's like really bad Surge.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you keep that trio.
Like if you're Vegas and Abuza gets dropped here, you are snagging that motherfucker.
Yeah, you'd be dumb not to.
Yes.
And they would, dude, they would be so good. Not so good, but they'd arguably top 6, top 8, like definitely. Let's move on here from Surge. Purge's got to go. This dude's terrible.
I mean, regardless whether you want to call him terrible or not, the rest of the team has been looking pretty good, and he has not looked good.
He's looked like dog shit.
Like, he has not looked good, and obviously, like we were saying, kills aren't everything, this and that, but it would be nice to get a couple more. You know what I'm saying?
See, we say that,
dude,
but remember,
like, it'd be nice to get a couple more.
But you're right, but in Modern Warfare 2019, in Shotzi's first LAN, and he shit the bed, and people were calling for him to be dropped.
No one was talking about Purge like they were fucking Shotzi, former Halo World Champion.
No, but the moral of the story is, like, give him like another event and maybe he improves.
Yeah, but then you're gonna be risking the good challengers players already. Again, the Legion stigma is they don't like it's a bad org, but we've heard from Clay like it's really not that bad of an organization.
Probably the smartest.
They're the second. They're probably like top 4 in profitability almost, like of almost being profitable, because of the way they structure everything. Yeah, they might not pay the players the bag, but guess what? It's a business.
It's also.
I think
they're also looking really smart considering what's been going
they're about
on.
If it's anything, if anything with the CDL is going to be like the OWL, and everyone's going to be getting a $6 million payout, they're probably going to make money.
Yep.
Like the only thing like with Legion and Ravens and probably other teams too that I think is a little like kind of puts your team at a disadvantage to begin with is when they're not playing from this. It doesn't even have to be a facility, bro. Literally get them a 1-bedroom apartment that they can, or like something small that they can all have their setups. And when they're playing, they are next to each other, because that I feel like helps in game, but it also I feel like helps translate onto main stage when you are in person, when you have to have that chemistry in person, because it's different.
Is
it's
Rocker
different
the team
than
that's
just being in a
one
fucking
apartment?
Discord call or a TeamSpeak call or whatever. What happened?
Is Rocker the team that's all in like one apartment where you like see their kitchen and their cameras? Is that Rocker?
I think so.
Maybe. I thought they had a facility though.
Well, that's
or are they not
that's
playing
in
in
Minnesota.
this?
They're in
They're
Dallas.
playing in.
They're in Dallas throughout the winter, and then once it gets warmer, they all move up to.
Then
Minnesota.
yeah, they probably have like a one bedroom or some shit.
You can see the oven on Lenz's.
Yeah,
POV.
that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just so funny, dude.
Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought here. What was I thinking about? Damn it.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to compare Purge to Shots and saying, oh, he's gonna be like Shots, you wait, but like I'm saying, like he could turn around and be at least serviceable.
Bro, you know, 100%.
Make a change because they
But
probably.
you should probably still make a change based on how the format.
Yeah,
is
they probably wanted
and how
ASIM, and ASIM said no. Because like if you're looking at the teams that probably offered ASIM, they said there was 4 teams, right? So it's probably Vegas, Boston, Thieves, maybe. But I feel like if Thieves offered him with Kremp, he probably would have went with them. So Thieves probably didn't offer. That's my guess. But it was Vegas, Boston, obviously, and then 2 other teams, which maybe Seattle. Maybe. And
I mean, honestly,
I don't know what that 4th team would have been, but like I'm picking Boston. Like you got Slasher and Preston. He won an event with Slasher and Vanguard. Like,
I mean, if they're
but whatever.
if they're not dropping Purge, I mean, guy needs to at least get up to like a 0.85 or something. Like at least be almost there. You don't need to be fucking slamming, bro.
Well, he played better in his second match of the weekend.
Who was that
and
against?
They lost. I know.
Yeah, but wasn't that basically that thing that basically that like Fame kind of does is like the rest of the team is playing really bad, but then
LAG.
Fame is slamming. Like, is that not what happened in that series? Like, everyone else was playing not
No.
very great, and Purge was playing all right.
No, Standy had a .98, Nier a .94, Purge 1.01, and Attach with a 1.1. They just got reverse swept and trolled.
Yes.
By
Okay.
LAG.
I'm just saying, like, Purge has done it. He hasn't done it often, but we've seen that he can at least do better than a 0.5.
His only other good series was against Optic online.
Exactly. He hasn't shown it much, but he has it in him. But he's just not being consistent enough with it.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Can I say one thing real quick?
Sure. Then we gotta get out of
I've
here.
I've been influenced.
Toronto
focus.
Ultra Shop.
Yes,
You
sir.
getting that beanie?
No, I got the hoodie and the t-shirt.
Sure.
I got the t-shirt with
Always
the
looking like
little
long
logo
neck
here.
Scrap.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've been on the fence for a lot of different teams. And I was cheering on subliners because of Preston and everything like that. I like the subliners. But I don't know. Something about Scrappy, dude, has always been my favorite. And like, I'm not a bandwagon. I've always thought Ultra was funny, especially because their logo's a squirrel. And I was just like, I was always
Hey, they actually
in
got
my
a
heart.
fucking mascot at their events too. They got that squirrel
Yeah.
running around.
I was always like cheering on for them, and then now that like I think they're actually like doing really good this year, I can actually like solidify like I think I really want to cheer this team on.
Alright.
And yeah, so I got some merch for champs this year, yes sir.
Sure.
I mean it's gonna be June or July or whatever, but I'll wear the hoodie.
Yeah, it'll be 100 degrees in fucking heart of downtown Dallas.
That's fine.
Yo, on
Well,
God,
it's good weather.
we're making the pod in person together in the hotel room or Airbnb.
Have to bring the mic and get a blue
bring the
snowball
mics.
to pick up everything.
Yes sir, yes
All
sir.
right. But I
All
think
right.
that's it for this week. Next week we'll go over more rosters, or if nothing really happens, then we'll just push the show to the following week and do predictions. If there's nothing to talk about, we're not gonna talk for 10 minutes and tell you roster changes. But yeah, check out Twitter, Instagram at the main menu for updates if we're doing the show next week or not. But we will be doing it the week before the matches start because there's another week off. So we'll do predictions. And yeah, that's all we got. Anything? Got any closing comments? And buy some fucking coffee. CaptedCoffee.com. That it? All right.
Amen.
W event. Minus the, what was it, the first day with all
Yeah,
those
the first day
resets?
out of
But
those
then they
resets.
turned that shit around, and there was only like maybe one or two for the rest of the whole weekend.
Shout out the CDL, who those players, the people that probably figure that out don't even work there anymore.
Shout out
so.
the CDL, but also fuck the CDL. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck Activision. Not the CDL.
Yeah, fuck the Activision. Yeah.
Shout out Boston
Yeah.
for having a Challengers event.
That too.
Yeah.
Miami's looking into it, though. I don't know if you saw that. The
Yeah, and
guy,
now
the
we're
Heretics owner is looking into getting
Okay, pause before we go. Talk about the Miami venue because that shit's lit as fuck. Dude, they're gonna be facing each other. It's gonna be in the
It's
round,
like Valorant, Aves.
crowd
That's
all
nice.
around,
Hell
facing each
yeah.
other, dude. If Scrappy's not talking shit across the fucking across the octagon, dude, I don't know if
Bro, I
want
want
to be there.
someone to throw a controller.
Oh my god, that'd be funny.
Chuck
It's
it into the
broken. I
crowd.
can't move. It's broken. I can't move.
My controller broken.
My controller broken. I can't move. I
Let's
can't
see you
move.
next time. Goodbye.
See you later, nerds.